All right, it's time to have a heart to heart with you, with all humans, but especially you, DT Nation, watching my video. A lot's been happening recently on this channel that doesn't make sense. Like, why am I putting up certain content? Like, why am I talking a certain way about certain topics? Like, who am I now? Well, what I want you all to know is this. I'm going to explain everything in this video, everything. And by the end of it, I hope it gives you a better understanding of what the heck is going on. These past 2 months have been the hardest 2 months of my life. I've quit my job, cussed out my CEO as you saw in the video, but there's more to those past 2 months than just the video you've seen or the videos I put up. But it starts with this. I had to give you context of why I had a meltdown, why I said what I said, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Growing up, ever since middle school, high school, and college, I have been looked down upon or different as from black people. Okay, they've called me Oreo, Uncle Tom before. They said I speak too articulately, and because I don't watch certain movies or listen to certain music, I'm not black. Okay, that's been all my life. All right, even recently going to a Black Lives Matter protest, they looked at me and my girlfriend like we didn't belong, basically only because our clothes. We looked too preppy. Okay? Now, recently I've experienced seeing George Floyd die. I've seen black people getting killed jogging down the street, amid robbery, and all this violence, experience the coronavirus, like that affected my job and me, and all these things have been happening. But then after experiencing racism directly and prejudice and discrimination at my job, it was just too much. And bottling all that up inside for 27 years, it came out. Now, that experience, as you saw in that video, I was the maddest and the angriest I've ever been in my whole entire life. I've never done that my whole life, okay? But it was so bad that one day when I was in my apartment, I was sitting down and I started to shake vigorously. I watched that video over and over again, saw your comments, saw everyone's comments about how I'm just another angry black man, or that I everything I did was right and everything I did was correct and I shouldn't apologize for it. And just all these different perspectives, I started to shake and shake. And then I watched my video over and over again, and then all of a sudden I shook so uncontrollably and vigorously, I started crying. I began to see red. And in my head, I thought to myself, I'm going to kill him. Now, what you don't know, if you haven't watched my videos, is that on December of 2016, on Christmas, I attempted suicide. I tried to kill myself. Okay? So going from both extremes, one extreme of hating myself so much, I tried to kill myself, and then hating someone else and being angry so much, I mentally thought about killing them. I've experienced both extremes. I've experienced both extremes in life. How can I be the same person after experiencing all of these things? So the next few days after that video, what you don't know is this is what happened these past 2 months, man. After quitting my job, after shaking uncontrollably, my friends and my family said that, I should get help, and I didn't. I chose not to. I was like, I'm okay. And then I became with the theory, okay? After I was just thinking to myself, okay, I'm so mad right now, but I still need to do YouTube. I still need to, I just was so all over the place in my head, and I was just acting out and still wanting to help you guys. I wanted to help you, DT Nation, okay? And then I created a formula called 50.1. It's a 50.1 method. And I was like, this is going to end world suicide. Like, this is going to do it. I finally figured out how to help every single human being, regardless of policeman or black or white or transgender or religion. Like, I can finally help everyone. But then I started to explain it to my girlfriend, and she believed me, right? She trusted me. But then I started to yell, and she started to get scared. And then she called her friend, And I started to yell even louder. I was like, no, 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 I'm not going to commit suicide. Like, I'm not going to. I'm trying to explain to you, like, if I was I just kept talking all these irrational and confusing things. And then all of a sudden I started to yell even louder, and the cops came. And I said, listen, I'm not going to go anywhere. I promise I'll stay right here. I'm not going to kill myself. I was on the couch. I'm not going to kill myself. And then they handcuffed me. And I was like, okay, I'm staying here. And I started to yell even louder. And then all of a sudden, they were just like, this guy is going to commit suicide, I guess. That's what the mindset they had. And I gave them that mindset because of me bottling in so much. And then then they ripped me out of the apartment. When I say ripped me out, I did not want to leave that apartment. They carried me, 4 cops, they carried me handcuffed. I was yelling out things like in a movie you can imagine. And 4 cops were carrying me, and I was being completely level with the ground. Baby, I promise, everything's okay. And please, I'm not going to do anything. And I went to the psych ward. Now, before I continue this story, understand I am happy. I am truly happy with who I am and where I am in my life. But I had to give you all this context so that way you understand exactly what the heck is going on. So I get to the psych ward, and it was the worst experience, but also the best experience of my life. Okay? So I'm going to share a few things with you I'm going to start with the negatives, and then for the rest of this video, and I got 14 minutes on this feed, I had to cut it because my camera cannot shoot past 14 minutes. Or 24 minutes. But I'm going to, if it gets a cut, that's because, I'm piecing together 24 minutes at a time video. I have no idea how long this is going to be. This is unedited, uncut. All right. When I got to this psych ward, they were handing out people medication without giving them an explanation of what it is. This is my second time going to a psych ward. The first time was after my first suicide attempt, and now after knowing that I wasn't dealing with depression or wanting to kill myself, but my mental health was not okay. When you deal with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder, there's no way you can get through all of things that's been happening recently. Okay, you should definitely talk to a professional. All right. I get to the psych ward, and the first 2 days they don't pull my hospital records, and I'm like, why am I here, right? And then they say, well, you're not taking medication. I was like, my medication's at my house. It's legit at my house. And it's escitalopram and propranolol, and it's this many milligrams. I told them all that. Whoa, okay. And they gave me different medication anyways. 3. I said, what is this? They said, this is your medication. I said, what? I take a different one. I'm not sure what this is. I said, I'll take it because I wanted to leave. I was like, I'll take it, but no, I hope this doesn't affect me negatively. Well, it did. I started to experience schizophrenia. Okay? I started to hear voices and see things that weren't actually there. I was so exhausted, I couldn't sleep. When you go to a psych ward, which I strongly recommend you do, by the way, if you're dealing with major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and you're suicidal, okay? When you're suicidal, get professional help, go. Stop the excuses, please. Just go. I don't want you to commit suicide. Okay? But when I was going through that experience of being on that medication and against my will, and because I felt like I couldn't say no. Everyone was taking it, so I felt like I had to take it, because if I don't take it, I'll be stuck here forever, and I won't be able to talk to you, DT Nation. I won't be able to talk to my girlfriend or my family. Because they take away all your clothes. They take away your clothes. They take away your phone. They take away your ability to go outside when you want. You got to share a room with other people. It's not a fun, it's not a fun experience, right? But it turned out to be the best and most fun experience. But even during all of that, even during the medication not being good for me and stuff like that, I began life coaching people there, and talking to everyone there, and becoming friends with everyone there, the staff, other people, and the rest of this video would be nothing but positive. I promise you. There's no more negative. Everything I say is just something that happened to me that made me who I am today, that helped me love myself more today. So there's this guy named Joseph there, and he didn't tell me his mental illness, but he when there's times where he would just imagine a drum set, and he would just start playing the drums just like this. I'm serious. He was like this, like that, and we'd be watching TV or walking down the hallway, and he would just start jamming out. And then he told me, he was like, the people that you find the craziest, the people that you see has mental health issues, understand exactly what the heck is happening to the world more than other people. I'm telling you. It's awesome. They love everyone. Like we do. Like and he said, Emmanuel, I believe that love is the answer to the world, and I'm trying to create this positive energy that can do all these amazing things through nanotechnology. And I looked at him, I said, okay, I feel you. And then all of a sudden, there's this guy who was a schizophrenic, as he would say, right? He had schizophrenia. And I talked to him, and he said, I don't understand why people say, like, there's an issue of hearing voices. And I was like, I agree. And he said, well, if you really do think about it, we all talk to ourselves. We all have positive talk and negative self-talk. So isn't that your own inner voice that you hear? And I was like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell people, that positive self-talk is a real thing. But how come we're condemning somebody with schizophrenia hearing voices when we all hear our own voice in our own heads? He's awesome. And then lastly was this guy. There's more examples, but the last example I give is he had narcissist disorder. And we were sitting down talking, and it was hard for him to open up at first because I could tell something was going on. But I was life coaching everyone and working on this mathematical equation, teaching them the mathematical equation. And and he said, I feel so bad and I hate myself because I always feel like I'm right, and I always say the wrong things because it seems like, he's like, I only care about myself when I don't. It's just I don't know how to think other ways. And I said, why? Why are you doing that? Why do you hate yourself? I said, because if you actually were narcissist, like truly, if that defined who you were, if narcissism defined who you were, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. You wouldn't be saying sorry to me. And he was like, he got quiet. And I was like, exactly. The fact that you can recognize that you have narcissist disorder and you're still apologizing for it shows that right here is just the beginning of where you're at, but this is where you can become and who you can be. And together, right here in the middle, that's you right there, man. That's all you. A balancing both, that's all you. He was so happy. So after going through all those experiences in there's no way now I'm the same person, okay? I'm not. I mean, the videos you've seen recently about race and religion, that's me, okay? That's who I am now. On this channel, what I intend to do is this. I'm going to life coach still. I'm going to do depression talks. I'm still going to talk about my mental health. I honestly forgot about talking about my mental health because I was so passionate about just helping the world. But I remember that mental health is still important and that it's still something I need to express and share with you. Before I go, I got to make sure I let this all out. I just put out a podcast episode recently on this, and I'm going to share the exact same thing with you. This is my intention. This is who I am now, okay? My name is Emmanuel Jones. I am a full-time changemaker and life coach. I help depressed millennials learn the 50.1 method, which is a mathematical equation to help them change their lives, find their life purpose, and love who they are and get their self-worth. I also, with this equation, allow people to analyze their suicidal thoughts, analyze their emotions, their depression, so that way they can operate in who they are now and become the person they want to be. So I'm going to give a free coaching session right now. I'm going to teach you the 50.1 method. Now, I've taught the past 15 clients that I've life coached recently, I've taught them how to use the 50.1 method, and their lives have changed, okay? My goal is to end world suicide. Before I teach this formula, I got to say this, just to give you some context of why I understand what I'm here for. In 2018, there was 49,000 recorded or reported suicides. 49,000. In America, by the way. In 2019, there was a total of 1,098 police shootings total. That's including black and white people and people of all color and races and sexuality and all those things. When I read that stat, I've been studying mental health for years now, okay? But after going through the psych ward, I just looked up the stats again. I was like, you know what? Am I tripping? Am I really saying something that is just so far off? And I looked up those stats and I said, you know what? That's why I talk about mental health way more, because 49,000 people committing suicide in the US, which is on average one person every 11 minutes. When I read that, man, it just solidified my understanding of who I was and exactly what I'm supposed to be doing on this channel, which is saving everyone. And the only way to do that is by creating conversation and talking about really controversial things that all of us need to talk about. If we continue killing each other and ourselves because we're not listening to each other and we're closing our ears, everyone's feeling unheard. And when every single person on this planet feels unheard, then what positive thing does that bring about in this world? Nothing. I got off tangent there. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. There's 4 minutes left on this video, and then if I go over, which I will, it's going to be one cut. I'm warning you of it now. So here's the free coaching session. Let's be positive, okay? I'm trying to be positive. It's just a lot. Here we go. So this is what it is, all right? The 49.9 equals your heart, okay? Now, who on this earth has a heart? Everyone. Every human being has a heart. So the 49.9 does equate to you watching this video. I have no idea who you are, by the way. I don't know what your favorite TV show is or what you eat for a living, what race you are, religion, sexual orientation you are, anything. I don't know anything. Now, 49.9 equals your heart. Please write this down. This has already changed lives and will continue to. And I'm trying to change yours right now. So 49.9 equals your heart, okay? Now, I said write it down when I could do post-edit, but that's why I said I'm sorry, my mind's all over the place because of my anxiety. But I mentally thought to myself, I can just put it on the screen, but nope, it's unedited, sorry. So 49.9 equals your heart. Now, under that is 5 things. 1 is your feelings. 2, assumptions. 3, personal experience. 4, personal perspectives. And 5, reaction. Right now, since I know the world does not know this mathematical equation, I know that everyone right now in all of human history, forever and all time, is operating only in the 49.9. Right now, the whole world is operating in a 49.9. That means that you're living based upon your heart, your feelings, your emotions. And if you don't believe me, what happens? If I were to punch you in the face or somebody were to punch you in the face, right? Your initial reaction will be either fight or flight because I triggered you and made you feel some type of way. So if everyone operates after a trigger in fight or flight, how does that work then in a coffee shop? I think that it would be very difficult for me to learn more about you, to care about you, right? To love you as a human if I'm only operating in a fight or flight mode at all times, right? Okay, so 49.9 equals your heart. Now, if you only react, if you operate in 49.9, you will react based upon your depression, your anxiety, your suicidal thoughts, right? Heartbreak, job loss. You're going to continue to react and think you're making a decision based upon your mind when it's only based upon your heart. Now, I'm going to stop this thing. It has 1 minute and 43 seconds left, and I'm going to hit play, and the next part of this comes. You're going to learn the 50.1, okay? That is just another aspect of this equation. All right, so here it is. So the 50.1 is your brain, okay? Now, listen to this. Can your heart think? What symbol in your body equals thinking? You would say your brain, right? You would not say your heart, okay? So the 50.1 is your thinking, rationality, self-awareness, self-control, and response, okay? So when you are able to use the 50.1, then you start to bring about change. Now, when I say this equation, This is the first thing that clients always say to me. So you're saying, Emmanuel, I've always been asleep in the 49.9 and that I just need to operate in the 50.1 and then my life can change? You almost got it. Like, you're this close. You almost got the concept. But in math, math is always math. Math is always right. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now that only happens when you add the 1, right? If you say, like you always had to add to equal 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So you cannot go by saying 49.9 or 50.1. It's 49.9 plus 50.1 equals 100% human. If you only operate in the 49.9, equaling your heart, you're always going to live life ran by your emotions, guys, by your feelings, by the assumptions you make every single day, by your own personal perspectives, your own personal experiences. But when you start to operate in both the 50.1 and the 49.9, which I can explain more about it, like when you get triggered, you go to both. But anyways, when you are able to look at your 49.9 as teachings, as lessons, then what happens to the way you think? What happens with how you live your life? When you're able to understand that your suicidal thoughts, your depression, your anxiety, your self-hate, your negative feeling towards yourself and others can be analyzed, is separate from all of who you are. Okay? That is the equation I've been teaching people, and it's already changed their life. I'm very intentional on what I'm doing and this mathematic equation. And, I know that my goal is to help you become happy with who you are. I love you. I love you. To me, you are all positive energy. The person behind this camera, who are you? I don't know. I don't know who you are, but I know you're on the same planet I'm on. Hello? Come on, guys. Who can see the sun? Everyone. Okay, what about blind people? Who can feel the sun? Everyone can feel the sun. So shouldn't we all deserve the same chance at happiness? Since we all feel emotions? Since we all think? So that's what I'm doing with this channel. I'm going to be posting content on very controversial topics to allow people to understand they are heard here. They are loved here, regardless of your perspective. If you are Christian, transgender, atheist, choose not to be defined, spiritual, black, white, a police officer, Muslim, Islam, Australian, AJR lovers, anime lovers, soccer players, football players, students, children, 8-year-olds, 26-year-olds, 80-year-olds. I love you all because you are all human first. When my mom on my birthday, she says, Emmanuel, you were born a smiling, happy baby. She never said, Emmanuel, you were born a smiling, black, gay, transgender baby. She didn't say that to me. She just cared that I came out alive. And I just care of you being alive. And the only way to be alive is to wake up out of the 49.9 and be conscious of both the 49.9 and the 50.1. I'm going to end this by saying this. This is going to be a very cocky statement that if you watch up to this point, thank you anyways. A lot of people will get bored. But I'm going to end with this. It's going to sound really cocky. My name is Emmanuel Jones. I am a full-time Changemaker and Life Coach. I am going to help more people than Tony Robbins. I'm going to help more people than Gary Vaynerchuk. Because those are my personal goals. That is my personal perspective. That is how I would love to change and grow as a person. Now, that might sound cocky to you. That's okay. I'm still going to help you too. Even if you don't believe me, I still want to help you because you're human. Now I'm going to name off every single type of person that has influenced me and the people I study on a daily basis. I study them every day for years now, for years. Here we go. Tony Robbins, Will Smith, Gary Vaynerchuk, AJR, Chester Bennington, Linkin Park, Fall Out Boy. Oh, we're getting real. Dan Locke, Sonny Lenarduzzi, Nick Newman, Brian G. Johnson, Roberto Blake, Think Media, Les Twins, Kevin Paradox, Reggie Coos. His music, his singing is really cool, right? Man, Dave Chappelle. And who else? Barack Obama, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Albert Einstein, Think and Grow Rich. That's a book by, I forgot who the author is. I mean, the list just goes on. Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Sam Smith, Taylor Swift, Florida Georgia Line. I mean, My Hero Academia, definitely that show. Ajin, Parasite, soccer. I mean, I can keep going. All of you I study and learn from, and you all teach me. And still, at the end of the day, I'm going to help more people than everyone I just named. That's my goal. If you don't believe me, this is the last thing I'll say. I was recently watching a podcast between Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, and Joe Rogan asked Elon Musk, "What's next? Like, what do you want to do? What's your ultimate goal? You look at everything you've done. What's your goal?" And Elon Musk said, "I believe in a world full of love. I believe in a loving humanity that is able to travel in the universe as they like." Now, this guy, Elon Musk, just recently launched a commercial spaceship. And he has Tesla. My thing is this. If he made that true, and he believes in that goal, and that's his mission in life, what dream or goal on this planet is too big? Nothing. I will be president one day. I said that. I'm running for president. Yes, I am. That will happen one day. Yes, it will. I'm going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. It's already in my possession. That is because I agree with the universe on it, just like Elon Musk believes in a better universe. There's no dream too big. Follow your heart. Follow your passion. I love you just as you are. I don't care where you're from or what you believe in. I want you to be happy. I want you to feel joy and positive love and energy. To wake up ready for your day. I just want all the violence and the killing to stop. Suicide kills all. If that doesn't care about what race, religion, sexual orientation, or creed we're a part of, then why do we? All right. That was really heavy. I know, something to think about. But please, if you want to join an awesome, loving community that accepts you exactly who you are, then hit that subscribe button right now. Also, you can go on Instagram at Depression Talks 1, and you can go on listen to the podcast, Depression Talks Podcast. You are not alone. There's tons of places for you to go to become accepted for exactly who you are and the person you're becoming. If you would like to work one-on-one with me, send me an email. If you're 18 years or older, send it to immanueljones@outlook.com. And if not, just ask a question down below and I'll coach you through your question, okay? I love you, and please stay positive. Nothing but positive love and vibes all your way. I'm about to hug this. This is a hug. All right. Do you stay swagalicious and keep smiling. Peace.